Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good afternoon, everyone. So we are learning 8 sense sphere ocean consciousness. In Pali we call it kusala citta, right? Kama vajra kusala citta. Accompanied by joy. The first one is the strongest one. So when we are doing good deed, wholesome things, so we do it happily and joyously. And associated with the knowledge, we have a wisdom. We know what is good and what is bad, right? Prompted. So we are full of motivation. So this is the strongest one. And second one is a little bit prompted, a lesser degree of motivation. And third one, dissociated from knowledge. Dissociated from knowledge. So here actually as a wholesome deed, we have a 3 type of wholesome root, right? Non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion. Actually non-delusion is a wisdom, right? The wisdom. So actually here, without non-delusion, so we have other 2 together with the non-hatred, non-greed and non-hatred, right? Some people are very compassionate and full of loving kindness, but they do not know how to apply, right? They do not know how to apply loving kindness and compassion. So some people, when they see people who are suffering, who have a problem, willing to help them, right? So they try to help them, but such people are not utilize your donation wisely, then suffer in your mind. In that state, right? So you do it with the non-greed, right? Actually, non-greed means renunciation. You let go, you give away, right? Something, or your life, or your property, or something, right? And sometimes you're a lot of, full of compassion or loving kindness. So actually, that is non-hatred, right? But you do not know the limit, right? You are not able to control your mind. So out of 3 wholesome root, you do with no hatred. No hatred means renunciation or giving away something, right? And non-hatred. Non-hatred is either loving kindness or compassion, right? Full of compassion, but there's no wisdom follow, right? So according to Abhidhamma, this is number 3, right? So when we are in that situation, dissociated from knowledge, but according to Abhidhamma, if you have according to Abhidhamma more, I will say. So in that situation, we do not have non-delusion or wisdom. So according to suttas, so if you do not have a wisdom, right? So that means you have ignorance. Because of ignorance, you are suffering, right? Actually, ignorance. So actually, if we do not have wisdom, that means you have ignorance. You do not know, right? Right and wrong things. But according to here, dissociated from knowledge, right? So anyway, so Abhidhamma is very, how to say, specific, very detailed, right? So anyway, we have to understand this way. And number 4 is lesser degree of motivation. And number 5 to number 8, equanimity. So actually your mind is not excited. You do it with the equanimous feeling. So these are 8 types of sincere, wholesome consciousness. Wholesome consciousness, in Pali we call it kusala citta, right? So actually if I say kusala citta, I'm referring to this, right? So actually there are a lot of 21 kusala citta, but out of them, if we combine sense fear, so that means only 8, right? Sense fear, wholesome consciousness. So actually up to now we have learned 38, right? Up to here, 38 type of consciousness. I think you have to digest. But actually, even though if you cannot memorize, you don't need to memorize, right? Just read the book. Because I always say that the first chapter is a foundation. So we must have a very strong foundation, just like so many story building, right? So if you want to make so many story buildings, so you must have a strong foundation. So at least you must know 89 type of consciousness. At least reading the book, right? Looking at the book. Otherwise, you will get lost in these chapters, right? So actually, we have a 8 sense fear wholesome consciousness. Actually, these eight type of chaitas are called ultimate realities. Ultimate realities that really exist, right? That really exist. So we have to learn ultimate reality based on panyati. Based on panyati, concept or names that doesn't really exist, right? So actually what we are going to learn are panyati, right? Panyati. Number 1, giving. So therefore meditation master will say that there is no giver, there is no recipients, just mind and body, like this, right? Actually, these are just panyati, right? Samudhi, we call it here, samudhi, just names and concept, right? So based on panyati, we have to know ultimate truth, right? Ultimate truth. So if you have actually normally we with the 8 type of wholesome consciousness, we do all these things. Number 1, giving. Number 2, sharing of merit. Number 3, rejoicing in others' merit. So all these 3 are under dana. Under dana. Dana is very simple. It is giving. Giving to someone anything, right? So that is called dana. So normally we translate so many ways: gift, almsgiving, generosity, charity, donation, right? So gift. So when we are doing all these 3, so based on 8 type of consciousness, wholesome consciousness, we do it. Another one, sila, virtue or morality, and also respect, also under sila, and service also under sila. So we have learned last week. So sila is a very simple one, a moral conduct that control body and speech. The 2 functions. The first one, in order not to do any evil deeds. Then number 2, to do good deed. So we can call it 2 aspects of sila, do's and don'ts, right? So actually sila is not only don'ts, but also do's, a lot of do's. especially number 5 and number 6. Respect and service are do's, right? We have to do it. So we have to respect older people. We have to respect to the junior people, right? Senior and junior. And service. So we depend on each other. So therefore, we have to give service to other people. At the same time, we also need service, right? If you do not give a good service to family, the family will not give you a service, right? Actually, reciprocal. You see, actually, this is a human need. This is the law of the law. We need service. A service is regarded as a sila. So yesterday I had a conversation with one of my students, and she said that providing education, giving something to their family is good. Of course, it's considered as a dana, right? It's a dana. If you are doing, it is considered as a responsibility as a parent, right? As a parent. So responsibility is under sila. So your duty. It's also mentioned in Mangala Sutta, right? Mangala Sutta. Buddha Tarasa Sangho. So we have to provide, we have to look after to the families. So wherever we do sila, wherever we get respect and service, so we are doing with the 8 type of wholesome consciousness, right? 8 sense sphere wholesome consciousness. Sense sphere is very important. Sense sphere wholesome consciousness. up to here, so all these consciousness can be in our mind, right? In our mind. But from here onward, then the consciousness will be beyond, right? Beyond our reach. No, not beyond our reach. Very far from our reach. So we have to try to attain those consciousness, right? So next one is the meditation, bhavana. Before you attain jhana, so whenever you meditate, so you acquire 8 type of sense sphere wholesome consciousness before you attain jhana, right? Number 8, hearing the Dhamma, also considered as a meditation. Now you are learning the Dhamma, right? It is considered as a meditation. So I will tell you the reason why, right? It's very important one. So hearing the Dhamma, listening to the Dhamma, Dhamma Savana, it is included in the meditation. Number 9, teaching the Dhamma. I am teaching, so that means I am meditating. Teaching meditation, right? Listening meditation, like this. So actually, teaching the Dhamma is added in meditation. So the last one is called straightening out one's views. Diṭṭhijukamma. Diṭṭhijukamma. Straightening out one's views. So we will explain one by one. So I think today we will explain about meditation, because the meditation is a very important subject. So I will teach meditation today. So all these 4 are under meditation, right? Straightening out one's view also considered as a meditation. But even among the commentaries, it's not. Some commentators said that straightening out one's view, the last one can be under dana, sila, and bhavana, right? Bhavana. It can be when you are doing dana, you have number 10. When you are doing sila, observing sila, you have number 10. But especially it is regarding with the mind, right? Regarding with the mind. It's connected with the mind. Therefore, it is considered as a meditation. Before we learn meditation, so let's talk about Dhamma Savana, listening to the Dhamma, hearing the Dhamma. So actually in Anguttara Nikaya, chapter 5, sutta number 202, so the Buddha mentioned 5 benefits of listening to the Dhamma. I think it's very important to know because many of you are coming to the temple, attending Dhamma courses, right? Listening the Dhamma. So actually, if you know the benefit, and you will have a right attitude, right? Right understanding. Why we should listen to the Dhamma. Number 1, one hears what one has not heard. Looks simple, very simple, right? So actually, you will hear something that you haven't heard of before. Number 1, right? So if you are attending different teachers, you have a different idea. Even the same topic, different approach, right? That you will hear what one has not heard. Number 2, one clarifies what has been heard. So you have been learning about meditation, about dana and sila, right? Actually, your understanding will be clearer if you are listening so many Dhamma talks, right? If you are attending Dhamma talks. One overcomes perplexity. Perplexity me here is look like a doubt, right? You may have doubt about meditation. You may not know what is meditation, why you are doing meditation. Then by attending, by listening to the Dhamma, by hearing the Dhamma, you will be able to overcome perplexity, right? Before one straightens out one's view. This is in number 10, right? Out of 10 basis of meritorious deed, the number 10, one straightens out one's view. So that means, so you may not have a right understanding. You may have a wrong understanding about dana, about sila and meditation. By listening to the Dhamma, right? By listening to the Dhamma, your views and your understanding will be straightened. It's a very important one. So the last one, one's mind becomes placid. Placid, right? Placid. Citta masa pasidati. So I hope that if you, after coming to the temple and attending to the Dhamma, on the way home, your mind will be placid, right? And serene and calm. I hope so. This is one of the very important part, right? Sometimes you may hear Dhamma talk on the way, full of angry, full of perplexity, full of doubt, right? I think it's not good, not good. So when you listen to the Dhamma, so you have to choose I would say a competent or qualified teacher, right? Otherwise, your understanding may not be good. So for that reason, we need to understand 5 benefits of listening to the Dhamma. So number 5 is very important. One's mind becomes placid. So when I was young, as a Samanera, so I have full of faith. And I used to go to many Dhamma talks. Of course, I get a lot of things and also clarify my understanding about the Dhamma. So when I hear, so there is a Dhamma talk over there, I go there. Usually it's still very young. So at the age of, I think, around 70, my understanding widened. And I read a lot. At the same time, I'm studying my Buddhist education, right? So actually, I extend my knowledge. And also, I have more friends. One of my friends told me that instead of spending 2 hours listening to the Dhamma, better read the book. and he taught to me. Instead of attending the Dhamma talks, at least we have to take 2.5 hours preparing to go to that place and coming back, right? At least 2.5 hours. Instead of spending 2.5 hours, better read the books. So in this way, you will get more knowledge. Of course, sometimes the preacher or speakers the same topic. So actually, there's no new knowledge, right? Actually, that his work go into my mind. I was in my heart. So from them onward, I stopped going to Dhamma talks. I spend my time reading. So actually later, at the age of 20, maybe about 25, about 25, I began to understand. Number 5, by listening to the Dhamma talk, our mind is serene and calm, right? And placid. The very important one. Most importantly, so the faith to the triple gene is deepened in our heart. That's very important one. So therefore, so about 25 onward, I start to listen to the Dhamma talk again. It's a very important one, very important, very important. So I also observe myself. So when I read before, I enjoy reading poems. I like poems. So maybe around that time, about 80 or 90 onward. So I reduce my my time reading poems, and I'm just trying to read the book that give me knowledge. Actually, later I understand that. So we have to balance, right? We have to balance between knowledge and feeling or emotion, right? Emotion. So we have to balance. In other words, we can say that faith and wisdom. Faith and wisdom have to go hand in hand, right? Hand in hand. So actually, therefore, listening to the Dhamma taught me not only to get things that you have a heart, or it's not just to clarify your understanding, but also number 5, very important. So to have tranquility and serenity in your mind. For that reason, I think that we should attend the Dhamma talk, right? Not only for the knowledge, but also for serenity and calmness in our mind. So therefore, listening to the Dhamma talk is under meditation. So later you will clear why under meditation, right? So this is the 5 benefits of listening to the Dhamma. We have 5 criteria or 5 factors of attaining Sotapanna. Actually, as a Buddhist, a very serious Buddhist or advanced Buddhist, so becoming Sotapanna should be the goal. If you are a serious one. So we have 4 factors. So number 1 is to have a good friend. We call it Sapurisa. Sapurisupanasya. Or sometimes we call it Kalyana Maida. A good friend. A good friend is talking to the teacher. Is referring to the teacher. So one time, Venerable Ananda talked to the Buddha. The Buddha, if we have a good friend, half of our profit will be completed. So if you are doing business, so if you have a good friend, the half of the things, right, is already completed. So you have to do only one part, right? One part. Actually, Venerable Ananda is referring to, having a good friend is very important. Then the Buddha said, do not say Ananda like this. If you have a good friend, everything will be completed. So, having a good teacher like me, the Buddha said, like me. No, not to me. sorry. The Buddha is talking, right? Normally, Hankacha is very important. Not referring to me. The Buddha said that having a good teacher and qualifying teacher, not qualifying teacher, Kalyana Metta, a good friend. The Buddha himself is a good friend. Having a good friend, myself, many disciples attain arrangeship, right? Arrangeship. So having a Kalyana Metta, a good friend, is very important, right? So here, a good friend means a qualifying teacher, right? Qualifying teacher. If you are meditating, you have to find out a qualified meditation master. That is a very important one, the first step, right? If you are following unqualified or uncompleted meditation masters, so actually your meditation may not be much, beneficial, right? It's very important, number one. And number two, having listening to the Dhamma. Listening to the Dhamma. Actually, is one of the factors, very important one. Dhamma Sawana is one of the factors. Dhamma Sawana, right? And number three is then I will skip number four. Number three, I forgot it. But when we learn about Sotapanna, I will explain in detail, right? But here I just want to highlight, listening to the Dhamma is very important. So if you want to become Sotapanna, so you have to listen to the Dhamma. For that reason, in Arupa Brahma Ram, in Arupa Brahma Ram, there's no material form, right? No ear, no eye, no body, just mental state, just the mind. So Arupa, according to Abhidhamma, in Arupa Ram, there's no chance to become Sotapanna because there's no ear. So therefore, no chance to listen to the Dhamma. So this is very important one. It's very important one. So later when we learn about Sotapanna, so I will teach that one, right? So listening to the Dhamma is very important, even to become Sotapanna. Then 5 benevolent attitudes of the preacher or Dhamma speaker. This is from Udayi Sutta. I think some of you may know about Bhikkhu Udayi, Venerable Udayi. He is very naughty man. And he break a lot of, he do a lot of unwholesome things, especially regarding with the women. So for that reason, the Buddha have to lay down so many rules and regulations. And he followed the rules and regulations laid down by the Buddha, but he will do the other way around. So for that reason, so many rules and regulations regarding with the women are laid down because of this one, Udayi. So actually, one time he was talking Dhamma talk to the people. Many people are listening to him, Udayi. Then Venerable Ananda saw him and talked to the Buddha. The Buddha, Venerable Udayi is talking to so many people. Many people are surrounded. And the Buddha to Venerable Ananda, actually giving a Dhamma talk is not easy. So as a Dhamma speaker, so we must have 5 benevolent attitudes. benevolent attitudes. So the Buddha explained this way. So if you want to become a Dhamma speaker, so you should know, right? Number one, having determined in our mind, I will give a progressive talk. Progressive talk. One should teach the Dhamma to others. Here, progressive talk means actually the Buddha normally give to ordinary people. Start with the dana, right? Then sila, then heavenly realms, about heavenly destinations, about heaven and angels, like this, right? Then after that, the Buddha may talk on disadvantages of sensual pleasures, and also the benefit of renouncing sensual pleasures. That at the end, the Buddha will talk about the Four Noble Truths. So this is progressive, the progressive talk, right? So when we are talking to the audience, so we have to know which type of audience, right? If the audience is less knowledgeable, we have to use, right, different terms. So therefore, we have to know, when I'm teaching in Chukwenyu Hall, I use different terms. But when I talk to the people in the shrine hall, different. More inclined to the faith, right? But here, more inclined to the wisdom. Because I think most of you are learning, right? Most of you are learning seriously. Therefore, so we can talk regarding with the knowledge, right? Knowledge, other than faith. So progressive talk. Number two, I will give a talk that show reasons. So wherever you said must be, causing effect. So some people may talk causes, there's no effect, right? So relating causing effect, because of this, that happened, right? Number two. And number three, I will give a talk out of compassion. This is a very important one. So we have to use our compassion and loving kindness. So wherever we talk, right? This is one of the very important criteria. And number four, I will not give a talk while intent on material gain. Actually, it's a very important attitude for the Dhamma speaker. So if you're talking because of material gain, because something you want to get something, or you want to get success and popularity, then it's not good, right? I will not give a talk while intent on material gain. And number five, having determined, is a very important one. I will give a talk without harming myself and others. Without harming myself and others. Sometimes we do a lot of things, we have a lot of classes, harming ourselves, right? Not good, not good. And we also have to balance, right? And harming others. Actually, normally, harming ourselves and others, we normally use this one. Extolling oneself and disparaging others. Normally, uncompleted Dhamma speaker use this one. So they want to extol themselves, right? Extol themselves. Atokansana. And disparaging others. Prapampana. So denouncing and criticizing others, right? So this is harming ourselves and others. So if we are doing like this, no good, right? So keeping that attitude in our mind, so we should teach the Dhamma to others. So these are 5 benevolent attitudes. So when we are teaching, we have to keep them in our mind, right? So therefore, teaching the Dhamma also considered as a meditation. But if we are doing with these benevolent attitudes, right? So if we do not have these, criteria, not good. Now let's talk about, the last one, straight view, right? Straightening of one's view. Having a straight view or clarity of faith in the karmas and their result is called straightening of one's view. Diṭṭhijukamma. Here you will say the word diṭṭhi, right? The word diṭṭhi and uju and kamma. Kamma is actions. Dhamma is kamma, right? Uju means straight. And diṭṭhi means view, right? Here diṭṭhi means view. So if you're trying to listen to the Dhamma, if you're trying to read the book, if you discuss with your friend, you're trying to straighten your view, right? Especially regarding with the karma. Here, the word karma, action. It is very important to know, right? If something happened because of causes, right? Because of action. So we have to know it. Our action or other, as I said, right? So actually this is a synonym of the idea of ownership for karma. Before we have learned, right? So we are owner of our own karma. You are owner of your own karma. So you have to know that. We have to know that, right? If people are suffering, you must have that attitude. So they are suffering because of their own karma. So at the same time, if you are in a position to help those people, right? You can help them. But if you are not in a position to help them, so you have to practice this one, diṭṭhijukamma, right? So they are owner of their karma. So if you are doing this way with the wisdom, right? With the wisdom. So if you do not have knowledge or wisdom, that means you will suffer by looking at them, right? So you will see people who are in problem, who are in a trouble, in problem or suffering. So actually in your mind, if you are a good people, so compassion will, shaken, your mind will be shaken with the compassion, right? Compassion. But at the same time, you must have right understanding. So this is because of their own karma. But if you can, you can help them. If you cannot, no need to suffer, right? You have to use your wisdom. It's very important. At the same time, so when we are learning karuna and metta, so we will learn in detail, right? So it's very important. We are owner of our own karma. Now let's talk about meditation. What is meditation? So first of all, we need to know the definition of meditation according to wisdom definition, I would say, right? In the Cambridge Dictionary, meditation is mentioned in this way: the act of giving your attention to only one thing. I think that's a very good definition. Either as a religious activity or as a way of becoming calm and relaxed. So example, prayer and meditation. And she practiced meditation. Actually, when the Westerners talk about meditation, in their mind, they already understand that it's talking about giving your attention to only one thing, right? Especially when you're reading the book, they will say that you are meditating on that book, right? Also, serious thought or study or the product of this activity. Example, the book is a meditation on the morality of art. Serious thought, right? Serious study. Actually, this class is meditation on mind, right? serious study of the mind. Meditation on the mind, right? We can see according to this definition. The next one, Oxford Dictionary said that the same thing, almost the same thing. Focusing one's mind for a period of time in silence. When we are meditating, some meditation method, we have to do it silently. There is some meditation method, so you have to use chanting, or you have to listen to song, right? With the aid of chanting for religious or spiritual purpose, or as a method of relaxation, especially in yoga, right? Yoga also considered as a meditation, especially for relaxation. Example, the monk spend much of the day reading and meditating on scripture. Number two, thinking deeply about something. He went out to meditate on the new idea. So he's thinking deeply, right? To have a new idea. So this is talking about meditation in the dictionary, right? Dictionary. So I think it's not bad. But sometimes, if you follow English word, it leads to other definition, right? So therefore, we need to know the actual definition of meditation, what we refer to meditation, right? The word bhavana is Pali. The word bhavana is popularly translated as a meditation. The literal meaning of bhavana is developing or cultivating. Different, right? If you look at the Pali, so what the Buddha means, bhavana, is different from what the dictionary said. So here, literal meaning of bhavana is developing or cultivating. In many suttas, the Buddha generally used two words together. So when he refers to what we call meditation nowadays, number one, bhaveti, to develop, and bahuli kroti, to do numerous times, to do again and again. So Bhikkhu Bodhi normally translate to cultivate, to develop and cultivate, right? Actually, if we use to develop and cultivate, is more than enough. But bahuli kroti normally means to do numerous times, right? Again and again. So that is called meditation. The most simple and easiest explanation of meditation can be found in Satipatthana Sutta. This is the most simple one and easiest one, according to Satipatthana Sutta. So in that sutta, the Buddha talk about developing mindfulness established on four foundations or four objects. So it's a very important one. So the main point is mindfulness, sati, right? So if you are developing mindfulness and cultivating mindfulness, that is meditation. In any form you can use, in any method you can use, right? As long as it develops mindfulness, stay okay. Four objects of meditation are: number one, the body, kaya. Number two, feeling. Number three, the mind. And number four, physical and mental phenomena. Actually, I would say phenomena. Actually, we have to develop mindfulness based on these four objects. First, so we have to use our body or things that are connected with the body. So when we are meditating, breathing and breathing out, right? Actually, breathing, our breath is connected with our body, right? Without body, you cannot get breathing or breath, right? So therefore it is called body. Sometimes you have to use your body, walking meditation, right? Walking meditations. You have to be mindful wherever you do. So the Buddha said that even you go to toilet, right? You have to be mindful in Satipatthana Sutta. So actually you use your body or things that are connected with the body to practice, to develop mindfulness. So therefore, in any type of meditations, as long as it trying to practice, to develop or cultivate mindfulness, you can practice, right? You can practice. So the main thing is to develop mindfulness. So if you are practicing breathing meditation based on the body, then you will have a feeling, pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling. So you have to be mindful. Then based on feeling, you will have mental state, just like anger. If you have unpleasant feeling, anger may arise, right? But you have to be mindful. If you have a pleasant feeling, you may have greed, right? Like this. So any type of mental factor, mental state, you have to be mindful. Then based on these three, the body, feeling and mind. So at the end, Dhamma is very important one. So you have to know. It is talk about Samatha and Vipassana. So based on contemplating the body, the feeling and the mind, so you know their nature, their characteristics. So that is called Dhammanupassana. This is the final point, right? The final point. So if you, by practicing, so you will understand and you will have Samatha, serenity of the mind, and also you will understand the nature of the mind, insight, Vipassana, right? So in this way, you are able to develop mindfulness. So meditation simply means developing mindfulness. So therefore, it's very important, very famous line from Pali Canon, Sattecakwahan Sapatikam Vatami. The Buddha said that, but mindfulness, bhikkhus, I say is always useful. Everybody translate. Actually, this is very, awkward Pali lines, very difficult to translate. So there are 4 different translations. As for mindfulness, I tell you that that serves every purpose. That's also not clear. So therefore, I prefer commentary explanations. Just like a sword, mindfulness is immersed everywhere. This is a very close definition of these lines. So just like a sword. So if you do not have salt, right? Without salt, the curry, the food is not tasty, right? So if you are not mindful, you cannot attain, right? You cannot attain peace of mind. So therefore, mindfulness is just like a sword. So the commentary mentioned another analogy. Mindfulness is just like a prime minister, right? Mr. Lee Hsien Loong. He is immersed, right? So wherever the Singapore want to do, other prime minister want to do, so you have to decide, right? So really mindfulness is just like a prime minister. So it is immersed. For that reason, so we are told to maintain mindfulness, right? To maintain mindfulness, to be mindful all the time. That is meditation, right? That is meditation. But two type of mindfulness, two type of sati. One is the ability to remember what you have done in the past, what you have said in the past. So that is one, right? Actually here, developing mindfulness means here, developing mindfulness means second definition. Sati, another definition of sati is mindfulness. Mindful at the present moment. What is happening at the present moment? That is meant here, right? So therefore, normally Abhidhamma define sati as a wholesome mental state, according to Abhidhamma. But many sutras said that sati can be wholesome and unwholesome, right? Suppose you saw somebody, then you remember, so this person have something bad to me last year. You remember, right? That's also sati. But that such type of sati. But if you do not have wisdom, very dangerous, right? Very dangerous. But according to the Sutta, it can be both wholesome and unwholesome, right? So therefore, we can define two types of sati. So remembering what you have done or what you have said in the past. It can be good and bad, right? It can be good and bad. But second definition, mindfulness, always good. So you're angry if you are mindful. What is happening in your mind? You have jealousy. You know what is happening. You're mindful what is happening right now in your mind. Good, right? Anytime if you're mindful is good, right? Good. So this is a Vibhu Sayadaw is very famous. He is regarded as a arahant in Myanmar and is one of the famous meditation masters. So if you go to Kandy, Sri Lanka, you can find a lot of books. And then Bhikkhu Bodhi, they like Vibhu Sayadaw and they translated, right? A lot of translation in Kandy, Buddhist Publication Society, so you can get his book. And this is what he said. The essence of Pali Canon is 37 requisites of enlightenment. We call it Bodhipakya. Actually, we have a seven set of the Dhamma category. So altogether, 37, right? 37. So if you summarize the whole Pali Canon, only 37. Only 37. The essence of 37 requisites of enlightenment is the Noble Eightfold Path. So if you summarize 37 requisites of enlightenment, so you get only 8, the Noble Eightfold Path. If you summarize the Noble Eightfold Path, you have only 3 higher trainings: Sila, Samadhi, Panya. So you can stay summarize the 3. So the essence of 3 higher training is mindfulness. Mindfulness is very important. And nowadays we also have a very eminent meditation master. Normally he stay in the forest all the time. He will not go he just go villages for alms round. He will not go to the cities. Just stay in the forest and meditation. People go there and listen to the Dhamma. And he also all the time he always emphasize mindfulness. So actually mindfulness is very important, right? So if you're mindful, even you are unwholesome deed, even you have unwholesome mental state in your mind, if you're mindful, you can stop it, right? So as I very often said that mind arises, one mind movement arises at a one time, right? One arises and disappears, another one mind movement arises again, and disappears, another one mind movement arises again. You're angry, anger is mental state. Anger, right? Continue anger. Then after that you're mindful. Then mindfulness, anger. Mindfulness, anger, anger. Mindfulness, anger. Mindfulness, 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 mindfulness. Anger, disappear. Right? There's a how. So how is very important. Mindfulness, how important, right? So actually meditation means if you are developing mindfulness, any activities, while you are cooking, you can be mindful, right? While you are reading, while you are walking, even while you are running, you can practice mindfulness, right? So any moment, if you are mindful, that means you are practicing meditation. Meditation is not just sitting with the crossed leg, right? Crossed-legged. The best form is the best form, of course, to have a higher degree of concentration. So we need to control our body, right? First, we need to control our body. Then only we will be able to control our mind. For that reason, the sitting with the crossed position is the best form of meditation. But don't forget that the main point is to develop mindfulness, right? So actually I share one time. So one of the lady in Myanmar, she is very busy housewife. And her husband is a government officer, a higher level. And she stayed at home and she raised her children. But when her children finished their school, nothing to do. So she became free, right? Became free. Then she started to learn the Dhamma. And she is giving one suggestion. So that actually is a meditation master in layman, not the monk. And he suggested that, so wherever you do, practice mindfulness. At home, just at home. Then from that time onward, she practiced mindfulness. When she is cooking, mindful. When she is sweeping, mindful. So when she is going out for buying something, mindful. So she practiced about, as I heard that is 70 years. She practiced such type of meditation for 70 years. Then later on, she has chance to go to meditation centers, and she practiced 10-day meditation retreat. Became Sotapanna. Because, she's practicing mindfulness, right? Practicing mindfulness. So actually, I am told that she is a Anagami. Now she is a Anagami, right? So what I want to say is actually any meditation method. So if you can develop mindfulness, so you will have a insight, right? You have an insight. Okay. Then mindfulness is the key. Normally, sati is the key, but that mindfulness have to be supported by other qualities. So they are nothing but the other 7, the Noble Eightfold Path, right? The other 7 on Noble Eightfold Path. The right view. So even though you are practicing mindfulness, you must have a right view. So then only you will have a right thought or right intention. Then only your speeches, your action, your livelihood will be good, right? Then based on these sila, you will have the right effect, the right concentration. So your mindfulness must be supported by other 7 qualities, right? Altogether, it became the Noble Eightfold Path, right? The Noble Eightfold Path. Mindfulness is compared with the doorkeeper who carefully check people who are coming in and going out. So therefore, the best way is to learn with the immigration officer, right? Immigration officer, they carefully observe the people, right, who are coming in. They check thoroughly. So like that, So we have to be mindful in our 6 doors. So when we see something, mindful. So if you are mindful, there is no chance for the anger or greed, right? So when you hear something, be mindful. So if you are mindful, no negative emotion will come in. So therefore, mindfulness is the key. So if you are mindful, the other mental states, negative mental state cannot come in, right? Cannot come in. Mindfulness itself is a wholesome mental state, supported by other wisdom and also concentration, right? Samadhi and panya. And number 2, what is meditation? To develop and cultivate the Noble Eightfold Path. As I said, actually this is not difficult. So if you are mindful, that means the mindfulness is the leader. So this is from the first sermon. The Buddha said, now this bhikkhu is the noble truth of the path leading to cessation of suffering. Cessation of suffering means nibbana. It is this Noble Eightfold Path, that is right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness and right concentration, right? So this noble truth of the path leading to cessation of suffering is to be developed. Here I just want to show to be developed. Bhavana. Tawa bhavana, bhavitapa. So you have to be, you have to develop the Noble Eightfold Path, right? Trying to cultivate Noble Eightfold Path. The word cultivation is very important, right? So when you want to get a big tree, right? You have to cultivate, right? You have to do a lot of things like that. So when you want to attain insight or wisdom, you have to be mindful. In this way, you are cultivating, right? Cultivating mindfulness. So these are the Noble Eightfold Path. Actually, we have learned many times. So right view and right thought are panya, wisdom. So based on panya, we have a right speech, right action, right livelihood, called sila, morality. And based on sila, we have a right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. So these are the Noble Eightfold Path. If you are treating this path, you will have right knowledge. We call it samanyana, right knowledge. Samanyana is nothing but magga and phala, right? Magga and phala. Here, right concentration is 2 types. So the first one is kanika samadhi, momentary concentration. Another one is jhana concentration. After this one, so we have to learn jhanas, right? Jhanas. So 2 types. So before you attain jhana, that means you have a if you are Puthojana, orderly, normal beings, right? And if you are trainees, Sotapanna, Sagadagami, Anagami, and you have sense sphere, ocean consciousness, Kama Vajra, Kusala, Citta. So it will be one of the 8, right? One of the 8. Up to now, any question? No question, then we'll go. Please listen. The next one, meditation number 3. Actually, there are so many. There can be so many meditation definition of meditation. Because as you know, we have 37 requisites of enlightenment, right? So that 37 can be divided into 7 sets. So one of them may be one method to practice meditation. So therefore, if you are talking about 4 type of right effort, 4 type of right effort itself is meditation, right? Meditation. If you are talking about 4 foundations of mindfulness, just follow 4 foundations of mindfulness. It's more than enough. So you don't need to practice. You don't need to practice all, right? So therefore, Webu Seattle said that. So if you summarize Pali Canon, only one, right? Mindfulness. Mindfulness is nothing but mindfulness based on 4 foundations, right? 4 foundations. And also we also have another, 5 faculty like this, right? And 5 power like this, and 7 factors of enlightenment, 7 bojjhanga, right? Bojjhanga. So these are by itself, so they can be type of meditation, right? So here, another one is this one is different. Is it the most popular definition of meditation is to develop and cultivate serenity and insight. We call it Samatha and Vipassana, right? I think it's very important to know what is Samatha, what is Vipassana, according to Pali Canon. According to Pali Canon, very important. So otherwise, you may hear, one teacher may say, this is Samatha, this is Vipassana, right? And another teacher may say different way. Confused, right? Confused. But if you learn according to Pali Canon, according to the suttas, so whoever, any teacher may say different way, but you understand very easily, right? Understand very easily. So in this sutta, Pena Pada Padisodhi Sutta, the Buddha said that if by reviewing he knows that serenity and insight are not developed in me, then he should make an effort to develop them. So here what I want to show is here, develop me bhavana, right? Bhavana means meditation. So we have to meditate on samatha and insight. So what is samatha? So based on Tatiya Samadhi Sutta from Anguttara Nikaya, chapter 4, Sutta number 94. So we will learn about samatha. Samatha is described as the internal serenity of mind. Internal serenity of mind. Sometimes samatha will be translated as a tranquility. Sometimes it can be translated as stillness, right? The same. Normally, tranquility meditation is the popular translation, right? Here we use serenity. It's described as the internal serenity of the mind. So if you are practicing samatha, if you are practicing properly, you will have internal serenity. Your mind will be serene and calm and stable. So that is the characteristics of samatha, right? Number 1. So this is the method how to practice samatha according to the sutta. How? Actually, in that sutta, the Buddha is talking to the monks. If some monks, they will have a vipassana understanding. They do not have a proper understanding about samatha. So for those people, so they have to approach who are expert in samatha. So here, how, friend, should the mind be steadied? How our mind keep steadied, right? How should the mind be composed? And how should the mind be unified? And how should the mind be concentrated? Here, concentrated. How should the mind be unified? How should the mind be composed or calm? So that is a samatha. So this is the commentary explanation. The mind should be steady, composed, unified, and concentrated by way of the first jhana. And so too for the second, third, fourth, and fifth jhanas, right? According to Abhidhamma, we will learn fifth jhana, right? So in this way, your mind will be composed and steady and unified and concentrated, right? To get internal serenity of the mind, so we have to make sure that our mind is properly standing and sitting on the meditation object. Actually, properly standing and sitting on. This is a literal translation of Pali word. Santape tapan. Actually, I'm not using the Pali. Here is a literal translation of the Pali word from Pali Canon Suttas, right? So if you want to attain samatha, so you have to try to make our mind. So our mind is properly standing and sitting on the meditation object. So that means to attain samatha, so when you are practicing breathing meditation, mindfulness of breathing, so you have to try that your mind is, you have to make sure that your mind is sitting on the meditation object. Here, your meditation object is breathing, right? Breathing. So all your mind must be breathing. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. So your mind must be sit on that, right? Normally, our mind is just like a monkey, right? Sitting on so many things. Sometimes we are standing, our mind is standing on the family affair, right? Like so many things. But if you want to attain samatha, make sure that your mind is sitting on the meditation object. Here, meditation object is breathing, right? Breathing. So in that way, you will attain samatha. Another one, we have to bring and place our mind to the meditation object. The same thing, actually different. The Buddha used 3 terms to explain about samatha. So here, to bring and place our mind to the meditation object. So when our mind is going away here and there, so we have to try to bring our mind and place our mind to the meditation object. So that is breathing, right? The mind may go, then bring back. The mind may go there and here, then bring back, right? So bringing back the mind to the meditation object is called vitakka in jhana. Vitakka means initial application, right? We call it initial application. So when we learn jhana, I will explain in detail. So that is the way how we can practice samatha. So looking at the definition of suttas, the commentary explain the definition of samatha in this way. So here, samatha means cause to still opposite phenomena such as sensual desires and awe, agitation, right? And restless mind, like this. So cause to still opposite phenomena, that is called samatha. So if you are practicing properly, so your opposite phenomena such as sensual desire will be removed, and also awe, anger, will be removed, right? So in this way, especially when you are meditating samatha meditation, the pain may come in, right? If the pain is coming, so there will be the mind it's not at peace, right? Not at peace. So when you are practicing properly, so those airway, right? Agitation of the mind will run away. So that is called samatha. Cause to stay opposite phenomena. This one is much better. Kilese samadhi samatha. Cause to stay the defilements. Actually, we have 10 type of defilements. Actually, for those who are learning Abhidhamma, you should know the technical terms, just like in defilements, right? So when I'm talking defilements, I think you must know what are the defilements, right? I think if you read the book, you can find. Otherwise, you Google on internet. If you want to know about defilement, what is defilements in Buddhism? Also, defilements in Buddhism. But if you just type defilements, there is so many, right? So many entries. Just type defilements in Buddhism, so you will know all the things, right? So these are technical definitions. Actually, defilements are nothing but the mental state that define your mind. Anger define your mind. Greed define your mind. And jealousy define your mind, like this, right? Actually, we have a 10 type of defilements. These will be we have to study in the 7 chapters in detail, right? 7 chapters. So if you want to know about defilements, go to 7 chapters. And you will see, right? 7 chapters.
Can you ask what is how you explain the word still? Still.
Oh, still. Actually, I will give you how we explain about still, right? We normally explain with a pool, right? A pool. So a pool is shaking. The water is shaking because of air or something, right? The water is shaking. If the water is shaking, we cannot see things inside, right? We cannot see. Just like that, our mind is thinking a lot. Suppose you're sitting, you are thinking a lot of things. Shaking, your mind is shaking because of these defilements. But you're trying to concentrate on meditation object. Breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out, right? In this way, so your mind is getting still and stable, just like a stable pool. If the water is stable, you can see everything inside, right? The small plant and fish and tortoise like this, right? You can see them. So if your mind is stable, then you can see the state of your mind. What is happening in your mind? What is happening in your body? You know very clearly. So if your concentration is deeper enough, then you can understand the nature of mind. Arises and disappears, arises and disappears. Then when you hear something, if you're mindful, if you are full of concentration, you know your mind is functioning, right? And incline to the voice and then follow another perception and trying to react, right? You know it very clearly. But here, cause to stay me, trying to calm down, right? Cause to stay the defilements. Got the point? Okay, thank you. It's an example of the pool, right? In the pool, if the water is still and stable, then you can see inside, right? Like that. So when you are practicing breathing meditations, so you will have a stable mind. Your mind may be very still, not moving, right? Not shaking. Then you'll be able to see the real nature of your mind. Normally, we do not know. Our mind is shaking, right? Shaking. Another one, Citta samadhi samatha. Here, as the arahant, they do not have defilements in their mind, right? They do not have defilement in their mind. Normally, their mind is stable. But for them, they also stay trying to practice to attain jhana. Jhana means higher stages of concentration, right? So if they attain jhana, their mind is still. Their mind is calm, right? And serene. So this is two definitions, right? Two definitions of samatha. So overall, what is samatha? Samatha means so trying to concentrate on your mind, on meditation object, right? If your meditation object is breathing in, breathing out, you try to concentrate your mind to the meditation object. You make sure that your mind is standing on the meditation object. In that way, you will have a still mind, or a stable mind, or serene mind. We call it internal serenity of the mind. Your mind is very still and calm, right? So based on samatha, so you can practice vipassana, right? Based on samatha. So samatha can be two types. A momentary concentration before you attain jhana, right? Now you have a certain level of concentration. For that reason, you understand what I'm talking, right? If you do not have such concentration, you will not understand, right? Mind is going, thinking many things, right? Like this. That is called momentary concentration, right? Another one is called jhana concentration. A jhana concentration is a deeper level of mind. So we have to learn in next chapter, right? No, next session. Not next week. So this is samatha. Any question? I think vipassana we cannot finish today. It is 4 o'clock. Question and answer time. Question and answer. So up to now we have learned samatha. If no question, we have to go to this one. Okay. You share what you know, right? You can do so, but you have to be mindful. And the same thing I did. 5 type of benevolent attitude, right? Attitude. So actually, I can't memorize these 5. What is the first one? The first one is the progressive talk. Actually, you must know step by step. You have to go step by step, right? So you must have the ability to go step by step. The second one is your talk must be related to one another, right? Cause and effect. So your talk must be very clear because of that this happened. Because of this, that will happen, right? Cause and effect. And number 3, full of compassion and loving kindness, right? Because sometimes we force our parents, especially the children normally, they force their parents to go to meditation retreat. It's not good, it's not. Especially in Myanmar, it happened many times. Especially I told them, don't do it because it's not good. Because, without a strong desire, if they go to meditation retreat, suffering. must have their own design, right? So actually forcing them, right? Actually it's not full of understanding. You don't have an understanding, right? Of course, if they are going to meditation retreat in their own accord, then you can support them, right? Of course, you can encourage them to go. Sometimes we are a little bit selfish, right? Selfish. So we want to materialize our own, own desire, Also, sometimes people request that my parents is not listening to us. Please advise like this, right? Actually, even in my family, actually, normally my family told me to talk to my father, to talk something, right? Actually, of course, I cannot tell, by force. Just explaining gently. Otherwise, not nice, right? Not nice. Normally, father is the most important leader in the family. He's full of authority when he was very young, right? But grow old, the children became very want to have the power in the family. So they want their parents follow their way. And if they are trying to force the parents cannot follow, right? Because it's very shock, we call it shock, right? They were shocked. So therefore, I need to understand. So when we are explaining to our family or parents or children, compassion, right? Love, compassion. At the same time, understanding, wisdom, right? Wisdom. And number 4, straightening our view, right? Straightening our view. So that means, not straightening. What is it? The first one.
You don't intend of that, not on material gain.
Oh, material gain. So if you are explaining to somebody, expecting something, right? Expecting something. So that is also not good. So the last one is the most important one. Harming ourselves and others, right? So because you have learned a lot in the temple, so you want to show off. So therefore you explaining your friends, right? So also not good, right? Harming yourself and harming others. Also not good. Any question? No question, huh? Okay, so I think better stop here. And if we go, Vipassana is very important, so we cannot finish. Better do it next week. Yo varadam bhavaro manu jesu sakyamuni bhagavakata kecho paragato bala vidiya samangi dansukatam saranathamupemi ragavi ragama ninjama sokan dhammama sangatama patikulam madurami mambakunan suwipatan dhammami mansaranathamupemi yatha jadena mahapalamahu chatusu susisu puri ยุเกสุอัฏฐาจะโปกาลาธัมมาดัสสติสัม